Good evening, everybody, or good morning.
Recording in progress.
Depending on where you're watching. Today we're having the second day of the Pranic Process Online. It's an amazing time to share this program because we're having this Christed energy streaming at us and fantastic solar flares, and it's so good to feel this energy upgrade and to surf it beautifully every day. So we are invited to do so and to prepare our bodies and our energy field for this new era energies to come and this new era to come. I've always held the pranic process when there was a special energy coming into the planet. So you've all seen now the Schumann resonance going like through the roof. You felt probably some symptoms of these solar flares being, felt on the planet and impacting us fully. So the question is, how do we prepare for that? How do we navigate this with grace? And how do we train our bodies and our energy fields in a way that we can have a beautiful experience during these times? Instead of having an experience of struggling, we can have an experience of joy. So many of you might have felt fatigue or dizziness or sense of unclarity these days. You might have felt the impulse to make crucial changes in your lives, or the impulse that your lives aren't quite as they're supposed to be, so therefore you need the change. You might have felt that your body is not functioning the way you're expecting it to be functioning. Some of you are getting bloated, some of you are getting back pains or bone and muscle pains of any kinds. The symptoms of a flu might be what some of you are feeling. Others are impacted by the lack of sleep or oversleeping, needing to sleep more than usual, more than you are used to rest. I myself am going through this some days, and some days I don't sleep at all, so it's very interesting to navigate these phenomena. You might feel that sometimes you have huge surges of energy, like you feel very energized, very jazzed up, while other times you barely want to get up from the couch. And it's important these days to not push yourself, to not try to be hard on yourself, to nurture your inner child or your tender part of yourself, to take care of your heart, to take care of your needs. Because any force or push or control action is resulting in struggle these days. So the more you allow yourself to be and be in the flow and give yourself the permission to rest as you need to, or to even do the things of the self-care things that you might feel that you need, the more you get the chance to navigate these times with joy and ease and grace, and to take advantage of these energies coming in, because we need to download them through our bodies and have benefits from them. There's light codes, there are downloads, there are insights, there are special resolutions or help coming in for us now, and we can only benefit from it when we give ourselves the time to actually be with it and be with ourselves and nourish ourselves. So today when I checked about the topic of today, because for those of you who don't know, this is a program of 8 days. We meet every day for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and we have this beautiful sharing together, as well as a guided meditation where we work with specific light codes, pranic energy, downloading these new energies, these new insights for the special time. We work with the Tibetan bowls for sound healing during the meditations in this program. So we use these bowls to clear our field, to energize our chakras, to encompass certain energies in our bodies, to block certain energies from our field or from our muscles and bones. There's specific energies that are coming in through these soundscapes that we use each day of the next 7 days. We're gonna work with this beautiful Tibetan Buddha bowl that is generating a specific sound and is literally amazing. But we also work with one chakra bowl. So today is the crown chakra that we work with, and we're gonna have a specific meditation towards the end of this webinar where we use this bowl to clear, energize, and upgrade our crown. We also use other bowls like the green Tara bowl, which brings in the energy of compassion and kindness, and the Avalokiteshvara Buddha bowl, which is the Buddha of healing. So the energy of healing is being streamed through this soundscape of the specific Tibetan bowl. So we're using all of these in our meditation, in our sound healing, and we also generate light codes, download specific energies. We connect to the center of to our galactic center, but also the center of the earth, into the center of our heart. We download new and specific blueprints for our DNA that is now being upgraded. We download specific energies for our physical body that is now being upgraded, and we give tools and insights and exercise that you can use at home to have a very, very beautiful experience in these days and in the rest of your life to come, because once you are being upgraded, your life is changing, and these tools are useful for the rest of your days or for as long as you might need them. So this is what we're doing in this program. It's still possible that you join us. We have a link in bio saying Pranic Process Online that you can click, and you'll learn how to be with us for the next 7 days and to get access to all our recordings. And if you're watching on Facebook, you'll find the link in the description of this video, and I'm also going to place it in the comments at some point. So before we continue, make sure you click that link and see what we're about with this pranic process, or just say yes in the comments. You're included in this webinar so that you're able to stay till the end, and then you decide to stay with us for the next 7 days. We're having the meditation towards the end, and it's not going to be available for Facebook and Instagram. It's only available for the participants that are directly subscribed to this class. So type yes in the comments to be included in it. For today, I've been working with the Starseeds cards that I'm using for guidance sometimes in this program, because this program is supported by many, many beings of light, 8 ascended masters, like I was telling you the other day, but also beings of light from intergalactic councils and beings that are supporting humanity in its evolution right now, and are supporting Gaia, and they are supporting each and every one of us that are in this program, because we are going through important times of reality shift and it is important that we have all the support that we can get, so that we make the best of this time right now. Therefore, we ask that only the beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us now. We always ask that only the beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us now. Only the beings of the purest light and love can be present. The light beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us during this program. And I was saying that I was consulting my light being friends and working with the Starseed Oracle, and I drew this card that says the energy of the day is all about the golden children. So this is the card of the Starseeds Oracle that I'm sometimes using, also playing with angelic cards and so many more. And it is saying to us basically that we are to pay attention to the new generation that has come through, and they are special children, beautiful children, amazing beings of light that are coming into this density, into this earth plane, to shift the reality in this earth plane, to upgrade the energy on Gaia and the energy in the families that they're coming in, and to have a wonderful exchange with the inhabitants of this planet, or at least that's what they're hoping for. Instead of that, sometimes they are suffering a lot, they are very, very disappointed or misunderstood, and feeling unheard and unintegrated on this planet and in their families and in their school groups and so on, because their intelligence is far more advanced, their way of perceiving the world is far more advanced than the previous generations and most people around them, and it's very hard for them to integrate. So it's time for us that we help these children, that we open up to them so that they get the best experience here, and to nurture them the best way possible with our presence, with our understanding, with our openness, with our training to spirituality, because the best gift we can give our children is our spiritual and personal development, so that they can have a beautiful experience here. So all these factors would contribute to them having a fabulous experience here on earth if we all join together into this time of evolution and into offering them the best learning systems, the best sharing here, the best way of communicating from a place of kindness and love and compassion, instead of from a place of control, which they don't understand and they don't respond to. So the children of the day, they don't respond well to control, they don't respond well to lies or any types of hindering of the truth, and they won't react well to any shenanigans that society has, been building up for the past centuries, because they came to bring the future, they came to bring the new energies, the rainbow energies, the violet energies, the golden energies here on earth, for us all to evolve. And if you're one of those children, because many of us have come, even the past generations, into this journey, you might have felt misunderstood, you might have felt misplaced, you might have felt like you've been adopted in your family, or thrown out of a ship or something, and abandoned here, on earth. And you might have felt that nobody really gets you and understands your way of functioning, your way of feeling. Maybe you've been hypersensitive or empathic, overly empathic. Maybe you've had the premonitions or healing abilities or special qualities ever since you were little, and nobody would understand those things, and they would say, even with imaginary friends or seeing beings of light or other, angelic beings and other things that weren't visible for everyone, you've probably been shunned off, shamed, or told that you are immature, or that you're imagining things, or that you should get serious or something like this. And you've learned to block your intuition, to block these qualities, to shut them off, so that you can be accepted and even loved by your family. We are here to remind you that you have these qualities. We're here to remind you that you can still use them and reactivate them within yourself. We are here to remind you that it's time to benefit from your virtues, from your qualities, from your gifts, because humanity needs them and humanity needs you. And we are here to help you with upgrading these qualities. Um, we've quoted in this description of this program that we help people activate your superhuman abilities. In truth, I feel that they are actually very human, very natural for all of us. It's natural that we have telepathy. It's natural that we have clairsentience, the ability to feel the feelings of others. It is natural that we have claircognizance, the ability to know um, how reality truly is. It is natural that we have the capacity to see remote things, or clairvoyance, um, remote viewing, the capacity to know the what we call past or future, which are actually other timelines. These are natural things. It is natural that we can move objects. It's natural that we can create realities instantly with the power of our mind. Those abilities are and were natural to us in the previous millennia. The humanity has had these abilities, in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, and everybody was functioning this way. Everybody was having pranic abilities, or the ability to be nourished by light or chi or source or quantum field. We weren't needing physical food. We weren't needing telephones to communicate, or internet to stream our thoughts. It was amazing, and it is time for this era to come back. And so many of us now are reactivating these abilities or capabilities or innate qualities. And in this program, you learn to remember. And you learn to use them wisely, and you learn to use them um, in a way that is beneficial for yourself and others, without the ego being involved, without the mind blocking you, without any other blocking factors. We actually remove the blocks from you having this multidimensional experience, using more than your five senses, and more than the proverbial or famous 10 or 15% of your brain, which I actually think it's now incorrect, because we're surely using much more than 15% or 10% of our brain these days. It's being activated big time, and it's still being activated more and more. Today we also feel to talk about mind mastery, because all of this is possible. All these qualities are possible when you master your mind, when you learn to still your mind, when you learn to silence your inner agitation, when you learn to connect into your heart, to establish a heart-brain coherence. That's when all these qualities start to kick back into your reality. Um, and the Institute of Heart Math, an institute of research that is researching the coherence between the heart and the brain and everything about the heart, actually is noticing that through meditation, through a certain type of breath work, through specific steps that you can do every day in a very simple way, one of them being just placing your hand on your heart and breathing through your heart, which you can actually try right now. At the moment you place your hand on your heart, your full attention focuses here, in the center of your chest, on your heart chakra, on your thymus, which is one of the most important glands in your physical body, and one of the most important chakras in your energy system, because it's also the seat of the soul. So you are connecting to your heart, to your soul, the very instant that you place your hand on your heart. Right, so that would be the first step. And the second step would be to follow your breath. And you can try this with me now. Because once you pay attention to your breath, you can no longer be distracted by your mind. When you regulate your breath, your mind slows down instantly. The agitated mind, it's only possible in the presence of an agitated breath. And once you calm your breath, your mind calms as a consequence. So you might have noticed that when you're very peaceful, your breath is slow and at a regular pace. And when you're agitated, your breath starts to speed up. It is the reason is that there's a clear connection between the mind and the breath. And if your mind controls your breath, and when it gets agitated, your breath gets agitated, you can switch or reverse that effect by slowing down your breath to slow down your mind. So that's what we can do right now to just test this simple exercise of coherence, right? That you can do in the comfort of your home or anywhere when you're feeling a bit thrown off or agitated, or that you're not able to pay attention. And you're not able to stay present. To get back to your presence, you just focus on your heart and focus on the seat of your soul and follow your breath. And that will reconnect you back into your body. And how many of you are feeling the effects of it right now as we do it? This is very simple. It regulates your rhythm as we speak. And then another thing that you can do, and I was telling you yesterday that we can test almost anything in our lives with a simple tool called the breath test, because our breath can give us the answers about anything that's true or false. So let's do this now. Let's use this tool to learn what's true or false and how we can check what's true or false. So once you breathe, you imagine that you're in a light column from the center of the universe to the center of the earth. And as you breathe, you're filled up with light with every inhale. And on the exhale, you exhale out the worries, tensions, concerns, everything that doesn't serve you and all that is not beneficial for you. And as you're already centered in your heart, breathing deeper and deeper and more focused with every breath, just make an affirmation that you know for sure it's true. One affirmation that is very clear and down to earth, nothing abstract. For example, I'm gonna say I am currently wearing a violet outfit. I am currently wearing a violet outfit. You can affirm something about your outfit just to know for sure it's true, nothing abstract, nothing that's not in the physical. Just for now, just to test what your breath is doing when you are saying something in your mind, not necessarily out loud. You're making an affirmation that you know for sure is true. Follow your breath and see what it does. So as you follow your breath, making this affirmation that you know for sure it's true, see, while you repeat this affirmation, see what the breath is doing, how it's flowing through your body. What do you feel? Like I'm affirming, as I said, that I'm wearing a violet outfit. Very down to earth, very clear affirmation that I know for sure it's true. And then as you're still centered in your heart, you make an affirmation that you know for sure it's false. As if, I would say, I'm currently wearing a black outfit. Something very clear. You can use another affirmation that you know for sure it's false and repeat it in your mind to see what your breath is doing. Just repeat it a few more times to just be able to notice your breath a little longer. And as we come back from this practice, we come back into our bodies fully, and we are fully present in the soles of the feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs. We check that we're present in the hips, lower back, abdomen, upper back, chest, arms. We're present in the shoulder blades, neck, head, to the top of the head, tips of the hairs. We're fully present. Now back into the room. For those of you who tend to, expand a lot or get out of their body while meditating, you're back here now. And I would love to know who has felt a difference in the rhythm of the breath while you were doing the affirmation that was true as compared to the affirmation that was false. Did you feel any modification, any shift? Was there any difference in your breath while you were doing the false affirmation as compared to the true affirmation? I'm curious to know. Yeah, some people say they are and they have felt a difference. And for many people, yes, the difference is that in the case of the true affirmation, when you're making a true affirmation, your breath flows freely, unhindered by any contraction in your body. It just flows naturally up and down, right? When you are making an affirmation that is false, or when something is false, your breath might be constricted a little bit, or you might feel contraction in certain parts of your body. Some people feel it in their chest, some people feel it in their abdomen. So something like this. And others can feel like an agitation in certain areas of their body, mostly chest or abdomen. But there's certainly a difference in your body and your breath while you're doing the false affirmation compared to while you're doing the truth affirmation. And if you felt no difference, then you need a little bit more focus. So before you start doing the affirmations, try to be a little more centered. So just do the breath exercise a little longer, or the column of light, or surround yourself in light so that you can get centered. and present in your body, and then make the affirmations. Of course, now we made some affirmation that we know about. We know what's true, we know what's false, and we just check the breath to see what it does. But how do we actually use this tool, right? That was the question probably for most of you. When you want to check something with your breath and use your breath test, you make the affirmation, it is beneficial for me to meet John tonight, or go to the movies, or eat solid food, or have just liquid food. So always start with it, it is beneficial for me too, or it is for my highest good too. And then affirm what you want to know about. It is beneficial for me to choose another job. It is beneficial for me to write a new book. It is for my highest good to answer to this phone call right now. I check everything. I used to check everything with the breath test. It is a very powerful tool once you get used to it and once you practice it, because first of all, it centers you in your heart every time you ask something or you want to learn something. With a breath test, you are basically forced to center in your heart, otherwise it doesn't work. You are forced to center yourself fully in your body, so that in itself is a spiritual practice. If you do it 10 times per day to check various things, as I was doing it every step of my life, even to drink water I would check with the breath test. I would center myself in my heart and in my body every decision that I would have to make, even the small ones. If I am to wear this blouse or not, I check with the breath test if it's beneficial or not. So in the beginning I was using it for every little thing, and it's recommended that you use it for very little things, like it is beneficial for me to eat an apple, it is beneficial for me to watch this movie. Use it for little things before you get to the big things. You need the training, you need to get used to your breath, you need to get used to how it shifts, and you especially you need to get used to getting centered and being very clear when you use the breath test. Otherwise, if you're still in your mind, if you're not paying attention to your inner core, you might draw your breath to make it work in a certain way, to give you a certain answer. Some people are tempted to do that, to like fool it with your mind, right? And that's not accurate, that's not true, that's not okay, that's not something you ought to do. So use it for small things, and every little thing check afterwards to see if it worked, if it was true, and so on, until you get used to it. And then you can use it for serious stuff, like it is beneficial for me to keep this partner or this relationship. It is for my highest good to now move to another city. It's for my highest good to change the job that I'm currently having. You can check those things, right? This breath test can be used to also check your pranic percentage, or the level of energy that you have in your body, on each chakra, on each body, the physical, the emotional, the mental bodies, and so on. You can check those things using the breath test. How to check? For example, the pranic percentage, you make the affirmation, I'm currently nourished by prana in a percentage of 50%. Or you can, if you want to check on each body, my physical body is now nourished by prana in the percentage of 20%. If you get a yes, if your breath flows freely, you move it and check for 30%, you check for 40%, you check and upgrade the number, the percentage, until you get a no. So for example, if you make the affirmation, my physical body is currently nourished by prana in a percentage of 90%, and your breath says no, it gets constricted or blocked, it is clear that you are below 90. You are either at 80 or wherever your breath has said yes last time, right? So that's how you can check your percentage for each body. You can check my physical body is now currently nourished by prana in a percentage of XYZ. You can check for my emotional body is currently nourished by prana, my mental body is currently nourished by prana in the percentage, and so on, until you check each and all of your bodies. You can also do the same for the chakras. My root chakra is currently nourished by prana in a percentage of 80%, or if you start usually by 50%. Usually the chakras are, for most people, are at 50. If it's below 50, you got a problem. You have to really energize that area, so if you get a if you start by 50% and you get to know your breath is closing down, you go below 50, checking my root chakra is currently nourished by prana in a percentage of 40% or 30%, or sometimes you can even have 10%, which is you're nearly asleep or something. You need to wake to wake your body up, to nourish yourself, to eat, or do some breath work to energize that chakra and level up, because you're malnourished energetically, right? So checking the percentage for each chakra helps you energize those chakras and know where the issues are, if there's any issues in your life or in your current health state or energetic state, and so on. Checking the percentage on each body, the physical, the emotional, the mental body, and so on, helps you be able to nourish that body accordingly. And in this book called the Pranic World Book, we've offered clear details on how to nourish each of your bodies. Your physical body needs a different type of nourishment than your emotional body or your mental body. Sometimes when you feel depleted, energetically malnourished or depleted, you might not need physical food, as most people go for physical food. Sometimes you might need an emotional food, which might be warm bath or self-pampering, taking care of yourself. You might need a caress, a hug, a warm discussion with a buddy or a friend or your lover. You might need to take care of yourself better, to acknowledge your emotions and listen to them. So that's nourishment. Or you might need massage. That's nourishment for the emotional body, and it's described in this book, the Pranic World Book, how to nourish it properly. The same for the mental body. If you need food for your mental body, which is good documentaries, good information, stuff that amps up your serotonin and dopamine, you won't get that nourishment if you eat. If you eat physical food when you actually need nourishment for the mental body, you just get fat or just get bloated, but you don't feel nourished. You won't have the feeling of fulfillment that you might actually need, and over time you get health issues. So it's good to check each body and how much it is nourished or not nourished, and be able to offer it the proper nourishment, because there are many people, for example, who eat for emotional reasons when in fact they eat physical food but for emotional reasons. They even came up with a term now called comfort food, which makes it obvious that most of the food that we're having is for emotional comfort, and it's not for actual nourishment like nutrients, vitamins, minerals. Therefore, it's good to be aware that you're actually needing emotional nourishment, and to know exactly what that emotional nourishment is, because then you don't need to eat physical food. You actually don't need to eat physical food even when you don't know what emotional nourishment is, because that food doesn't go anywhere in a nourishing way. It just deposits in places that you wouldn't want to have it, and it clutters your body. So learning your pranic percentage on each of your chakras and bodies and so on, learning how much your general pranic percentage is, or your level of energy is, allows you to step up your game in the pranic nourishment, to be aware of what you need, what type of healing you need, what type of self-care you need, and take care of yourself in a much better way, right? And you can also check with the breath test the activities that would amp up your energy. We've given 8 steps offered by 8 Ascended Masters in the last episode, the webinar of yesterday. So we've explained that there are 8 specific activities that you can include in your daily life to be able to upgrade your energy. Of course, there are many others, but those 8 specific activities are working for everyone and are part of a cocktail or this program that is helping you energy upgrade. You can check with the breath test which one of these activities you need to do today to amp up your energy. For example, for me, for many years I've meditated a lot. I was meditating like crazy every day for hours and hours and hours. And at some point, of course, I was doing movement and qigong and dance and other things like spending time in nature and music and all that stuff that I've offered yesterday as tools for energy upgrade. But I would meditate a lot, right? And at some point, I would notice that even with all that meditation, I wasn't happy, I wasn't joyful. My level of joy wasn't quite high, right? So I had to ask myself seriously, what do I need to do to have more joy in my life? Okay, I was having peace of mind. I was having a certain, balance in my general life, but I was lacking the joy, which is a very important component, especially in the pranic lifestyle. The joy of your heart, whatever makes your heart sing, is nourishing you and helping you feel that you don't have a hunger, right? So as I was lacking joy, I checked with my breath test for each activity of the 8 steps what I need to do more of. And the thing that was lacking for my daily activities that would upgrade my energy was the singing and the dancing and the playfulness in general. So with all that seriousness, with all that, um, you know, deep yogi training that I was having back then, that I would 8 to 12 hours per day I was doing spiritual stuff, spiritual work, I was lacking the component of joy and fun. So I had to bring that into my life to balance out the energies in my life and to actually have joy and a happy heart. Because it's not enough to have peace of mind. Peace of mind is good, but if you look at the monks, very few of them are really happy, right? Because they lack the component of joy that comes from really pampering yourself, really enjoying life, really giving yourself the best of what you can have, and so on and so forth. So, having given these tools, I hope they are useful for you. I am now completing the transmission on Facebook and Insta because I am to go with my the people that have already subscribed in this program. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything to add or ask before we complete. And we're gonna close the live session on Facebook and Insta to go into a deeper meditation and sharing with our participants. If you want to be one of our participants, check the link in bio on Instagram that says Pranic Process Online and join us. You learn there all about how you can join us, or just type yes in the comments and we include you in the webinar of the day and you can make the payments later. And if you're on Facebook, the link is in the comments and in the description of the video. Big hugs to all present and big much love to you. Happy to have shared this with you. Hope it was useful. Let me know in your comments if it was beneficial for you to know this information. And in the days to come, if you have used the breath test, let me know how it worked for you. I'm curious to know which are the effects for your life. Big hugs to all.